Good evening and welcome to yet another Gamestyle Live. I'm joined by Steve. I'm
Hello.
joined by Andrew. And in a
Howdy.
slight change of plans, we're missing a red weird puppet type thing that we was meant to have today. We was meant to have a special guest, Elmo from Joypod, but he's unwell and can't join us, and he will be here another week. So, back to our original plan for today, which was the plan we was going to have with him here anyway. We're going to talk about DLC because that is amazing. What should be one of the best things in gaming is the biggest clusterfuck there is at the moment.
It goes either way. Insert mum joke here, but DLC is a curious thing that we've all come to kind of accept without a lot of the time without questioning, not unquestioning in its totality, but yeah, because I like DLC because when I have a game and I've extracted the fun out of that game, I kind of, if somebody they announce some DLC that I'm interested in, I'm like, ooh, I like that. I want to play that game some more. I want to experience more of that game, and that's fantastic. Which I've got a lot of examples to, which we'll get to. But obviously, on the flip side of that, you get the DLC that's announced as the game's announced, and before you've seen any gameplay footage of, and it's a little bit sour is I think a good word to put towards it. So yeah, DLC is it's a bit of a I wanted to say necessary evil, but it's not necessary in the slightest. So
Just Steve.
It is. Well, I don't know because when you get some DLC that works, and without again, we're not going to delve into the good and the bad fully yet. But you look at some of the stuff that you had for like GTA 4 with the Ballad of Gay Tony and stuff like that. That's what it was called, wasn't it? Yeah. Um, that's a good example of DLC done right. It came way after the fact, and it just expanded on the world, new characters, etc., and it just allows you to stay in that world for much longer. But you're right, when it comes to certain games that focus on team versus big monster type thing, and you are announcing DLC plans before you show any of the game, you're right, that is just when it's going too far. Um, we had the jokes around. Was it the first? Some of the first DLC was horse skins in.
yes, the horse
Thingy.
armor,
Um,
the amazing horse armor
That
for
almost sounds
Oblivion.
welcome now.
It does, doesn't it?
my favourite thing about that little saga was that they had a sale on all the DLC for Oblivion, and they reduced everything by 50% except the horse armor, which they put up by 100%. It's a kind of a we did that.
I do
But,
I do like a company that can poke fun at themselves.
but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that was what I was going to say to start with. In a completely we're unprofessional on this podcast kind of way, I was trying to work out what the first DLC I bought was, and I haven't got a clue. I genuinely have no idea at all. I know that I owned the DLC maps for Halo 2, but I'm pretty sure I got a disc for that. I'm pretty sure that I didn't have any of the extra tracks for PGR2. So I think it's got to be something on the 360. And if so, I don't know. What it's I think that's kind of the problem with DLC really.
It becomes
In that
nebulous and
yeah, it's slightly insidious that you kind of forget that you've bought it. In that it kind of just sneaks into the game and you forget which bits like with Driveclub now, I don't know which cars have been free downloads and which have been in the game in the first place.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
Burnout. Burnout Revenge had. If you went to one of the Xbox pods with your 256 meg memory card, and you could download. It wasn't Mountain Dew skins, but it was the equivalent of. There was like a branded energy drink
Yeah.
skin, I think. Without looking it up, I can't remember. But that was the first DLC I remember getting but not paying for. I thought I'd bought some PGR, but I wouldn't swear to it because that was before we kind of had an inclination of how you could, extend the online experience of a game with more maps and whatnot.
PGR2 had Paris and Long Beach as extra tracks.
I don't think I had Long Beach. No, I didn't have those. I definitely didn't have those. No.
Mine would have been something racing based, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to what I had at the beginning of. I didn't buy anything for PGR3 either. Oblivion. Do you know what? I don't actually know.
You bought horse armor.
I can't remember what happened last week, so there's no point in asking me out like that.
And it does kind of make a point, then, doesn't it? That it's not one of those memories that sticks with you at all. It's just.
It's not the memory. It falls into the same category of buying digital games, and which also falls in the same kind of thing as owning an Amiga, because like the Steam catalog. So Steve, digital games are not a physical thing. I can't hold them and say I own this and I'm going to play this. So I forget I own them. I forget I've actually got them. And so it comes to and I go, oh, I'll have a look through. So I look at my Steam library. It's usually got 60 odd games installed, of which I play about 4. But then occasionally I'll go and look at like how many games I've actually got of the 365 of what it is, and I go, I don't remember buying this shit. Where did it come from? How have I got it? Has it magically walked onto my PC, or have I, Humble Bundles and Steam sales and God knows what else? And it's the same with DLC, because it's like, because I don't go to a shop and I don't buy it and I can't trade it in, I forget I've got it, and so I've got no idea. I mean, I can remember what I've had the most value from, but I can't remember, because I even looking through my Xbox Live arcade library on the Xbox 360, I'm like, I bought that? Really? So yeah, it's I think it's because it's not a physical font, hold it in your hand. I think it's easy to kind of, and I think that's going to be the problem with the inevitable digital future that we keep getting told we're going to get, which we are going to get, but not just yet for various reasons. And it's you kind of, I don't know what. It's like they go, Evolve, you can... No, not Evolve, Dying Light. Dying Light you can buy now for £55. You, sir, can fuck off. I'm not paying £55 for a fucking digital copy of a game. Get out and walk. What planet are you on? I'm not doing that. So
I've got mine for about £13.
Yeah, you managed to blag that slight error on GameStop's part or whatever it were.
Me? No, never did. I never took advantage of a misprice. How dare I?
So yeah, it's I think the kind of intangibleness of it, I think, is gonna whether it's gonna cause problems or not. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just kind of sit here going, I don't know what I've got because I can't remember.
Oh, my Steam library is a constant mystery to me. Oh, there's stuff in there that...
Just like women. Shh. But yeah, it's...
when I was a kid.
No, you might know. There's loads of games I've got on my Steam that I can't remember buying. I'm sure someone just puts them on there. It's the gaming equivalent of feeding an addict a bit more crack just to get them that bit more addicted. You go onto Steam Library, you go, I don't remember that being there. Let's go and buy something.
With a relative amount of confidence, I've got as many Steam games as both of you combined. So
you probably have. Can you recite them all?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even recite the first one.
No. I've just put Steam up 355. I've got 355 Steam games.
Although, having said that, whilst I was tidying up the other day, I found the receipt that I'd printed out from the internet for activating Half-Life 2 on Steam.
What day was that?
Yeah, because I didn't trust it. That was because it was the very first game that needed Steam, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so it was,
yeah. It's funny how people...
2000 maybe? I don't know. I have no idea when Half-Life 2 came out.
It's funny how ubiquitous Steam's become. I mean, even when I still worked in retail, the PC market was a fraction. In terms of physical copies, it was a fraction of what all the consoles were. and it's difficult to. The age-old argument of PC gaming is on the rise and stuff like this, and the thing is, you can pretty much take the PC ecosystem and place it in a different galaxy compared to the consoles because it doesn't work the same at all, and that's pretty much 99.9% down to Steam, which might have lost a little bit of ground because of indie games and good old games and the various satellite origin and stuff, but it's a whole different world compared to digital distribution on consoles. It's I mean, you got people coming in. This is how long ago. Well, you got people coming in. You go, right, okay. They've got, I don't know, bloody hell, what were at the time? Some World of Warcraft, for example. World of Warcraft, right? Okay. Do you know your PC specifications? I've got Windows XP. Oh, right. Okay. What graphics card you got? Don't know. What processor you got? Don't know. What memory you got? I've no idea. It's like, well, we can't sell it you. Have you got, like, you do realize this is an online game then? No, I ain't got the internet. It's like, oh, fuck me. And I don't think it'll have changed that much because a lot of people who come in off the street buy their PCs from PC World and stuff like that. And if you're buying PCs from PC World, you ain't playing fucking Far Cry 4. I'm telling you. So
the thing is now, most people don't even have a PC. They have a laptop, which is even worse. It's not a real computer. It's not a real computer.
Here's my kettle. It's full of fish. Yeah. I mean, what I'm using at minute, I'm using Paula's Alienware laptop, which 2 or 3 years ago was good, but it's like because Alienware are now owned by Dell, getting any support for them is like pulling teeth, and you can't. Up until recently, literally, like up until the last 6 months, you couldn't upgrade the drivers without using the Dell pre-approved drivers. You couldn't use Nvidia's drivers, and it's like, how do I play these games any better then? Well, we're not just going to release them. That's because you're a bunch of fucking. God damn it! It's so painful, so painful. So yeah, but this is not DLC. This is digital distribution, which is entirely different. So
see,
it's kind of related, isn't it? By our standards of being off topic, this isn't bad at all.
It's in the vague ballpark of what we're supposed to be talking about. Sorry, Brad, go on.
The difference between the two is I remember when it used to be expansions for PC games, it was almost like an event in itself. The release of an expansion for a game was something you go down.
Warcraft, yeah.
Well, for me, I mean, probably the most embarrassing of my early games I was addicted to was The Sims. Back in the day, that was a really enjoyable game. It was something a bit different, and I enjoyed it, and I was quite excited. Expansions were coming out, and it was like, yeah, I'll play some more of that. What can we do? You go down. It was an event. You go down the day of release, you'd pick up your disc, you go and install it, and it added it to your game, expanded your game. It was still DLC, but obviously it was expansions, and there was a lot of care and attention went into a lot of those. And just on that, I mean, what they done to The Sims is disgraceful. That was a legitimate game once, for fuck's sake.
Well,
but anyway,
I don't know. I think the thing with The Sims is it's one of those games you can only really play properly once. And whichever version you played first is probably the one that you associate with what The Sims is, really. I mean, the first one I played loads. I went to the library in university to download extra stuff and stuck it on floppy disks and took it home with me. I was
tried the naked cheat.
I enjoyed The Sims, and it definitely actually deserves to be part of this conversation because I'd say it's the franchise that's had the most effect on gaming content. So that was years ahead of anything else. That was, I mean, the actual expansions were always, go to a shop and buy the disc, but it was getting used to the process of having little bits that were released and then all people making other extra bits. And I think it's a significant part of.
But what you had with The Sims though, and what it did really well, was it was almost an idea of this is what an expansion should be. It added loads to the game. It almost doubled the amount of content you had, or you felt that way. It had doubled what there was, and you could go and play it for another 20 odd hours into this expansion alone.
This is the thing.
And you've got all your new clothes, your new characters, houses, furniture, stuff like that. But it was part of this whole overall experience. Whereas if The Sims came out now and it was brand new now, what you'd actually have is you'd get The Sims, where you get your house and you get a sofa and stuff like this, and it'll be very linear as to what you can do. And then you'd be able to buy a different colour sofa, a different pattern sheet for your curtains. You can add a new character, and it'll be all little micro DLC bits, which is what gets me. And it's what you get with games like Forza, like Driveclub. Is I don't mind you adding new tournaments, new tours, new tracks. Don't mind that. What I really don't like is the adding new cars as paid DLC, or needing to buy a VIP car pass to get all the cars, especially when it gets you to choose a car and it recommends a car that's DLC only.
Forza Horizon. Forza Motorsport 5 was bad. Forza Motorsport was bad.
Yeah.
For that, it was absolutely shocking. And to be fair to Microsoft, they did turn around and say, yeah, we got that entirely wrong. However, Forza Horizon 2 is a bit of a weird duck because it's got a season pass, and it's got a car pass, and it's got an expansion pack. So you've got 40 quid for game. Let's say, cheapest price online, 37, 40 quid. Then you've got 20 quid for one of the passes, I think 20 quid for the other pass, and then 16 quid for the island. Now, the 16 quid for the island apparently is very good value, which is fair enough. Why isn't that part of the season pass? What the hell?
It's not a season pass. It's not an actual season pass.
It's bollocks. It's absolute fucking bollocks. Because it's like, I don't mind. I am no stranger to paying for extra content. I played Battlefield 4 a lot on 360. I was shit at it, but I played it. Bought the premium, got all the extra packs. Fantastic. When we moved over to next gen, then we got Battlefield 4 again, and I got it. I did some jiggery pokery, so I didn't pay full price for it, and then I managed to get some cheap PSN points. I still bought it twice. I might not have paid 40 quid for it, but I still bought it twice because I wanted all the fucking content, which is great. And to me, the content you get for Battlefield 4, I mean, putting aside the fact it took them a fucking year to fix the game so it actually played the way Battlefield 3 played in terms of functionality. Thanks for that. I've given you a best part of 80 odd quid or whatever. Just sort it out. You got a lot of maps and extra guns and whatnot, and that was fine. But then you've got the other end, which is some would argue that Battlefield 4 isn't amazing value. It's good value, but it's probably not amazing value. But then that's a bit of a weird yardstick to kind of measure. You go, what is amazing value? And it's all very up in the air. And
before you carry on, I would suggest if you was to put if you look at paid DLC and you was to put a value on minutes played per cost paid, Battlefield 4, including premium, would come out at very, very good value. And it's one I got early because I trust, even though the game was broken, I trust that I'm going to get value for that DLC because I know I'm going to be playing the maps and playing against most people who are also doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's like it's only worth what you're willing to pay for it. It sounds like a really trite and simple thing to say, but it is. If you don't want to pay 40 quid for that season pass, don't fucking pay 40 quid for it. Find cheap points. Find them code sites that are entirely legitimate, not the really dodgy ones that buy from Russian fucking sites and stuff like that. And find it cheaper. You can do this. You just got to put the legwork in, and you got to wait a bit longer. It's as simple as that. But then there's the other end of the scale with the nickel and diming awful microtransaction bollockry which is creeping in, and I don't think this is going to be about very long because it's getting to the point. The Xbox One showed us anything. It's that the internet is very vocal about what it's displeased about, and it will change. For example, the just off the top of my head, I did have a better example, but it's gone out of my head. But the Assassin's Creed Unity microtransactions. In fact, no, the crew.
Everybody's favourite.
Yeah, I don't hate the crew. There are games I loathe and despise much more than the crew. The crew disappointed me because it was an excellent concept that was fucking awfully executed, which made it, by the two extremes, mediocre as shit. So it's but the whole thing of, and this is not peculiar to the Crew because it happens in Assassin's Creed Unity. I'm not sure if it happens in Watch Dogs, but that's a different thing. But it's like you get in-game money for doing missions and complete and finding things and all that kind of stuff. You get in-game money, and you buy cars and upgrades and all that kind of stuff. Except you've also each car, paint job, part, item, everything has a secondary value on it, which is money you can buy with real money. And the proportion of the money you can buy with real money to the in-game money is about a third of what it costs to buy with in-game money, which is ridiculous. Because because the Crew of the way it's structured is, you get to the end game and it's all online. You kind of go online and you race. So if you've got somebody who's feeling, like they want to spend money on the game, and they chuck their money down and buy an amazing car and upgrade it to shit, and you don't want to do that, you are boned and you are not going to get anywhere, because the way the game's balanced is that you will get left in the dust, and that is awful. That should stay with mobile phones, because that is where it's entrenched, and that really bothers, stuck in my neck. Same with Assassin's Creed Unity, because it's the same thing. They put a massive upgrade system in with weapons and uniform parts, clothes that you can give you more stealth, more health, whatever, better combat. And they did the same. They put an in-game value on it, and they put a downloadable money you can buy value on it. And it's awful. It's terrible. Not only is it souring the game experience, it's fucking condescending and patronising. And it is one of the things about modern gaming that makes me just roll my eyes and go, oh, where's my fucking Spectrum? Bunch of... Dear God in heaven. I just shove my thumbs into my eyes and scream into the sun. It fucking annoys me.
It's when it becomes part of the actual game it gets annoying. Like Evolve, that's just come out, has got ridiculous amounts of DLC that you've got to spend $136 to buy all of it. But most of it is kind of trivial, just stuff that you can buy. And if you want to buy it, then buy it, and if you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. And because it's all come out at the start, it's not got that, oh, it's a new thing, we can show off about it thing. And to be honest, I'm genuinely happy for that to exist, and I would be very, very happy for that to be in every single game. Every game comes out with 50 pieces of DLC that doesn't really affect the game, especially multiplayer things where people want to dress up in funny clothes, wear Team Fortress hats. That's fine. It's like the Crew, where you're unlocking stuff or you can pay, and then you're playing against other people. That's where it gets really, really dubious.
Cosmetic stuff is fine. I've bought cosmetic shit. For my Xbox 360 avatar, or Xbox One avatar, I bought the Iron Man suit for him, even though nobody sees it apart from me, because I wanted to. People go, oh, why are you buying it on tap? It's my £1.79 to spend, and that's so fuck off. I'll spend it on what I want.
I bought a Red Wings jersey for my avatar.
Exactly, so you do this. And if people want to pay that, that's fine. It's when companies are taking the piss. I had a look through this. I actually did a little bit of research for this podcast, because, we're not
I hope everyone's sitting down well.
Yes, I hope you're sitting comfortably, children. Actually, it's not that bad. However, I did find out that 3 is not actually the magic number, but a multiple of 3 is the magic number, because Evolve, as far as I could tell, had 9 different pre-order types. There were 9 different versions of the game across all the formats that you could buy. They're all offered mainly different, although there were a couple that included the expansion passes, which was the extra hunters and the extra monsters. But mainly they're all skins and stuff like that. Although, I did kind of roll my eyes and chuckle at the same time that there is a version for the PC called the PC Monster Race version.
That's creative, I'll give them that.
Well, you see, I kind of rolled my eyes and went, no, you can have that, that's fine. But I also found out that Watch Dogs If you're ever feeling like a giggle, Google Watch Dogs pre-order matrix, because
This
that
is a giant spreadsheet, isn't it?
It is. It's a spreadsheet,
Yeah.
and there were 9 different versions of Watch Dogs. I'm pretty sure Unity had the same thing, and it's like you kind of look at that and you go, it's just difficult not to see it as incredibly cynical. Because of course you don't have to buy it. You just buy the vanilla version and you go with it. But there's always that thing that's at back of your head that says you're missing out. You're missing out on these little trinkety things that don't mean anything. And it just kind of sticks in my neck a bit. It's just a bit. It's a bit shit. It's a bit cynical and it's a bit condescending to your fan base and the people that are paying you money. And I mean, Arkham Origins were a bastard for it.
See,
The different skins that
my pre-order didn't cancel, so I've got it here at the moment. I'm gonna trade it in at game
Brad,
and all that.
I love you. I love you a lot, but you are fucking useless. You really, really are.
No, the only reason was it was all prepaid, so I couldn't cancel it. I don't know why I prepaid it. I did, but anyway.
You'll never learn. Never learn.
So I've got this monster expansion thing.
A solid 7 or 8 out of 10.
Well, I guess we'll find out in about a week and a half when people have managed to review it, because you can't review it before it's fucking gone to retail because it's an online game. Anyway, sorry, yeah, you got your pre-order.
Right, on that, right, before we go, because we're going to mention this all later, that's why Eurogamer and other sites are starting to change, because they're not going to be giving games months ahead of time for all the new online crap. So now they're going for the whole, well, we want to play it properly with you guys.
I'm very firmly of the opinion that because the landscape's shifting, I think they're trying to get ahead at game. Because I think you'll find other players doing that and all. Fucking thanks, Captain Obvious. Sorry, go on.
No, we got stopped that because we delayed our Driveclub review until we gave it a chance to actually be working. But there you go, ahead of the curve.
And just 3 months later.
Stuff like that. Yeah, no, we was ahead of the curve. We waited to see if it was working properly before reviewing it, and I will be going back to it. But anyway.
We got his crystal ball out and went, crystal ball, tell me things. And crystal ball came up with a big sign that said, it's going to be fucked on launch. Don't play it because it ain't going to work.
Yeah, we got our crystal ball out, and sadly the crystal ball couldn't.
The Monster Expansion Pack. I've got the Monster Expansion Pack, which, according to this, redeem your code now for a Monster Expansion Pack. Good for that. And immediately download the Savage Goliath skin. So I'm assuming it's a monster, just a skin. Everyone gets to see it, but you get to have it.
It sounds like
the code will grant you a new monster character.
Goliath.
Yes. And this code will also grant you a new monster character as soon as it's available. Right? Yep. So this gets me as soon as it's available. That doesn't say it has to ever be available as well. They can just go, yeah, whatever.
The thing is this leads on to the other thing about DLC and pre-order DLC. Dying Light is actually a good example of this. I actually wrote this down. Again, I wrote this down because I did my fucking research. Fuck you. But Dying Light, because Dying Light Season Pass, this is really cockeyed. The Season Pass comes with 2 hardcore missions in 2 previously locked off buildings, right? That's first thing. And you get in-game items as well. Right, so this brings up 2 things. One, they're giving away those hardcore missions to anybody that buys the physical version a month after it's come out. So if you buy the physical version of the Season Pass, but you've already got the missions, what are you getting instead? Nothing, obviously. The second thing is, if you are buying the Season Pass and the in-game items are delayed and released later, why would you need them if you've probably finished the game and there's not much reason to go back to it? And also, apparently, one thing, my little scribble here is it says all the in-game items are all available as pre-order bonuses at various retailers anyway. So why would
it's another one, right? I'm going to go back. I've got my my instruction booklet, which was a bloody great thing to see, by the way. Look at that.
It's an actual book. It's an
actual
book. Holy shit! It's an actual book.
Look, 2K, you're forgiven. You're absolutely forgiven for all this DLC nonsense. Look at that.
Stop making
rash. Oh, has it got an epilepsy warning?
Hang on. Precautions. Health warning, 3D warning, piracy. parental controls, help and support. But no, it tells you instructions on how the controls. It tells you the screen. It's a proper instruction booklet. But anyway, at the back, it sells the Season Pass. It doesn't tell you much about the Season Pass. All that you know is you get over £25 of value for $19.99.
I'm pretty sure the Season Pass for Evolve is the stuff you get in the digital deluxe thing,
which is
four more hunters and a new
monster skin.
Yeah,
that's not a Season Pass.
No, a new monster and a new skin. This is the thing. The Season Pass has become a bit of a piss take. Outside of first-person shooters, because first-person shooters require you to I'm talking fucking bollocks. First-person shooters are online ones like Call of Duty and Battlefield. People now they're entrenched in their mind that they expect extra maps at some point. I mean, the fact that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, as alright as it is, has got the zombies. The zombie mode's got John Malkovich and all that good stuff in it. That's fucked me off though, because zombie mode was always part of Call of Duty since World at War.
Yeah.
And they've put it in the Season Pass, and that made me. I won't say angry, but that would imply that I don't have anything else in the world to worry about. But it annoyed me. I think it frustrated me because it's like it's. I don't see why you need to put it in the Season Pass, and it's just frustrating. This is the thing I was saying earlier on. It's like gaming a lot of the time is a bit people's relationship with gaming is like having fucking Stockholm syndrome, because you're held to ransom in a certain way with all this extra stuff that they go with you, and you end up loving them for it. I mean, it's like Nintendo. Nintendo are wonderful. I cannot express how wonderful Nintendo are, but they are also incredibly frustrating. It's very frustrating being a fucking Nintendo fan. It really is. And so when you get like, zombie mode's coming in Season Pass, you're like, but I like shooting people in the face because I don't have to deal with children screaming at me down the microphone, because I get to co-op with my friends and shoot zombies and be John Malkovich. Why wouldn't you?
Should I tell you, right? I'm going to let Andrew talk. I'm going to let Andrew talk in a minute, because I feel like we're talking over him. He's been quiet. But I'm going to say my 3 favourite bits of Season Pass so far, this gen, last gen, whatever. Battlefield 4, because I feel I've got value for money, and that feels like it's been worth the money on its own. Trials, Evolution, or whatever it's called, Fusion into the Future, whatever it's called. That's how memorable the game is. Trials.
No, what? No, the Trials DLC was terrible.
No. Right. The reason I've got value for money is I've got a son who likes building tracks. He likes racing all the new tracks. I got that for, I think, $9.99, the Season Pass, which has included 6 new tracks per piece of DLC, plus new areas and new items to build new stuff with, which also adds to the creativity and the free tracks you're getting from other people, and adds to all that. Now, I know people don't agree with it, but I've got value from that, and I actually like that as a thing. And Driveclub. The Season Pass for Driveclub is probably one of the best value I've seen. That's £20 for the Season Pass, and that is adding so much more single-player content.
The Season Pass take out the fucking sun glare, because I wish it would.
Well, yeah, that's different. You're getting pissed off at gameplay mechanics and graphical things. Screw you. In terms of value,
impossible to see.
Yeah, it's like, I can see where I'm going. Oh, the sun's come out. Oh, well, that's me shagged that time. I can't get around that corner because I didn't see it coming.
And also,
it's notoriously dark in Chile when the sun comes out.
Titanfall DLC Season Pass was good because you could get the Season Pass and the game for a tenner.
That is the most. I mean, on launch, fine, whatever. You pay what you pay your money, you take your choice, as Quo said. But the thing is, for a tenner, Titanfall plus the maps, it's obscene value, because Titanfall's great. It might not have much longevity, and you might play it for half an hour stints, but it's fantastic for a tenner. It's ridiculous value.
I should play it at some point.
Oh God!
Someone Andrew. I know who's definitely not me. But bought Titanfall when it came out from Mexico and got the season pass included with it at the time. So I've had that for ages, and I've still not really played it.
You see, I will happily play Titanfall anytime, any day. I've got it on both, because I'm a twat. I've got it on both, so if anybody wants to play, just fucking hit me up, and I will shoot fools in the face and stomp them with my
when you've moved, we'll have a Gamestyle Titanfall night.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
when you get a PC.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah. The reason that I'm silent is that I generally don't buy very much DLC at all. I mean, take Driveclub, for instance. Game of the year last year.
Take that seriously. Go on, carry on, Andrew.
Still is sticking to it. Although in retrospect, I might move 80 days above it because I've only really been spending enough time with that recently. And, it could have been it. But when Sony gave us that insulting 10% off voucher, where they said, "Ha ha 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 ha, we've been useless. Please give us more money than you intended to."
And it worked.
Not for me. Yeah, it did piss off.
For most, it did.
I got that voucher sat there, and I was like, "Well, I could buy the season pass for Driveclub." And the trouble with it is, the single player stuff that it adds is going to include rubbish drift mode stuff, which is rubbish, and rubbish AI races, which is rubbish, and it will include some time attack stuff, which is ace, but I can just make that up myself. I don't need to pay 20 quid for that. So essentially, I'm paying £20 for 38 cars, which is a ridiculous price to pay for fictional cars.
Hang on, Andrew. Just before Steve goes. Your game of the year last night had about
last night.
You changed it. You wanted to change it today, but no. Your game of the year has about a third to 2/3 of its content that you've just said is crap.
Yeah.
Your game of the year.
And I made that very, very clear in my game of the year announcement as well. Most of that game is crap, and the rest of it doesn't quite work properly. But when it does, it's really, really good.
So basically what you're saying is you chose Driveclub because you couldn't include any PC games because at that time we didn't do PC stuff.
No, it still would have been. I do like Time Attack that much. Look out for the book that's coming soon from me.
To be fair, my game of the year were a fucking expansion pack, so whatever.
But I just don't fall for DLC very often at all.
I don't know if fall. I don't know if fall's it might be the right word. It's like, I mean, I've got one ongoing bugbear at the minute. I had Rocksmith and the Rocksmith 2014 for the Xbox 360, and I bought 4 packs which had like 5 songs each and a couple of single items each. And then they announced the Xbox One version, and I'm like, it's a bit expensive. It's like 55 quid because you can't buy it without the real tone cable, so whatever. Anyway, I managed to pick it up from the Amazon Black Friday sale for like 37 quid, and then I sold my copy for like 25 quid with the first one, and so it balanced out because they announced that all DLC will be forward compatible and you'll be able to download it from the Xbox Online Store and which was great. So basically, my brain forgot 10 years of bullshit from fucking online, from companies like Microsoft and Sony actually getting their shit in order and sorting things out. I completely forgot all that and thought, yay, I'll be able to download my Iron Maiden pack and suck at playing the Trooper and 2 minutes to midnight. It'd be great. And then when I did it, it's like, oh yeah, the licenses aren't sorted. What do you mean the licenses aren't sorted? Oh yeah, well you can't download them yet. I'm like, what? Why not? Eh? And so so long story short, after buying it in November, we're now in February, I can download the single items I bought on the Xbox 360. I still cannot download the music packs on the Xbox One because it still wants to charge me for them because they have still not sorted the licenses out. That is apparently I think the PlayStation version has sorted that out. So if you bought the PS3 DLC, the PS4 DLC now works. But it is some grade A bullshit. And obviously, if you bought the 360 version, you couldn't transfer them because it's a different ecosystem on the PS4. So, and that's my kind of. To the point of where I'm thinking, shall I just sell it? Shall I just get rid of it? Is it worth fucking about with? I mean, we're halfway through February now. I just want my fucking Iron Maiden pack. I want to be able to play my Iron Maiden songs on my Rocksmith. And I ain't paying £10 again because I'm pretty sure the jacked rock bands DLC was always cheaper than the Rocksmith stuff.
Yeah, Rocksmith stuff's expensive. That's why I got it on PC, but then it doesn't work on my PC because PCs. As much as I am the forefront of PC gaming for us. Oh, fuck it sometimes. Oh, seriously.
No, yeah. I mean, it's like Dark Souls 2. Oh, sorry, go on.
It basically boiled down to the fact I've got a good sound card, so I can't play Rocksmith because that relies on you having a shit one.
Really?
That's what it essentially boils down to, yeah.
But you talk about this is what gets me with PC gaming, and here comes our tangent. This is what gets me with PC gaming. I picked up Flat Out pack for the PC on Steam. It was on sale. And Flat Out Ultimate Carnage should run on my PC because it doesn't require much at all. Yeah. Except my PC can't run that. My PC can run Crysis at high settings. It can't run Flat Out Ultimate Carnage unless it's running it about 5 frames a second.
That sounds like conflict and bullshit and a load of stuff that you can't be asked to sort out.
I wouldn't know how.
Yeah. You shouldn't.
At some point in this, it does get useful to have a degree in computer programming, which I do have, which is nice.
How's that working out in your current career, Andrew?
That's pretty good. I'm loving it.
I just want to play the games.
This is the ultimate thing. If you want to play games, do not buy a PC.
But I still want a PC to play good games on the PC because PCs are cool with some games.
The PC, I've got loads of wonderful games on the PC, but it is a case of with the console. I know if I put the disc in, it's more percentage at time than PCs. It's just going to work.
Unless it's Driveclub.
Well,
yeah.
Or Assassin's Creed.
I don't know. To be honest, I would say I'm probably having more success with recent PC games than I've had with recent console games. I mean, I'm mostly playing Driveclub and Pro Evo, and let's be honest, they're both shit. Driveclub still keeps going wrong constantly. Just only for like 10 minutes at a time now. It's like, hey, you remember October? Let's do that for a bit. Okay, we'll pretend to work again now. And Pro Evo's just like, testing connection.
Yeah, that got on my nerves in the end. I barely played anymore. It's as good as the new Pro Evo is.
It's the I mean, ironically, in the same vein, I've been playing a lot of Destiny still. Did I ever stop? Probably. I don't know. But it's.
You said you did, but we didn't believe you.
I did. I'd stopped playing it for a few weeks, but then obviously because I'm a twat. But I've been playing Destiny and it works fine. It always has worked fine. There was a couple of bumps in the road to begin with, but any massively online game does that. I mean, Christ, I remember first days of World of Warcraft. That was bloody painful.
Do you not think you're a bit naive if you go into a game that's mostly online? And is built to be online, especially the massively multiplayer online jobbies. Are you not a bit naive to think, day one, this is going to work? And
no.
That's why I don't get people who then throw their toys out the pram all the time, because they know it's going to come, surely.
For 2 reasons.
Go on then.
For 2 reasons. One, because we always expect better. People always expect people to know that they're what they're fucking talking about. So you kind of, I mean, it's like Battlefield Hardline. The beta's just been out, and it was actually very, very good. couple of different design decisions behind the way it played. It was actually very, very good. The fundamental thing was it worked. There was never a point during the beta over the last 5 or 6 days where the game didn't work for me. I always got into a game. It always felt like it was stable, and it's like, and so you kind of get there, and you're looking at it, and you're going, and like me and my mates are going, we're not buying Hardline when it comes out because it's Battlefield 4, lol, etc. But then we kind of went, this is actually working. This is actually working. And so I'm kind of like going, I'm not going to buy it day one because we're all saying, oh, let's wait for the first couple of patches and then see how it's going. But it's like you're lulled into a false sense of security by the betas where they go, hey, it works, especially seeing as it's a second beta because the first one was wonky as out. And you kind of go, well, I might get into it. But you know for a fact that when they release the retail version, something is going to go wrong. And yet people will still buy it in their millions because people expect better. And we should expect better. We shouldn't be. I mean, it's terrible being a gamer as it is because you are kind of preparing yourself for the worst all the time. And it's fucking exhausting, man. I'm bored of it. I'm sick of it. I am sick and tired of waiting for things to go wrong.
I'm just massively cynical about stuff. It's just I don't buy things when they come out anymore. I mean, Driveclub I didn't get until a month and a half after it came out because it was
still busted. It was still broken when you bought it.
Still a little bit, yeah. And I don't know. I think what has really happened, and I know you're both going to appreciate this, is I think I've got old to the point where. No, just sod it. No, it's not worth the effort. I'll just have a nice sit down.
I can't. If a game's coming out this year, I've tried to stay off it, and I'm doing really well with it because I haven't pre-ordered Dying Light because last year if Dying Light had come out, because I saw a thing for if you bought it through Game Collection on Ratuken, you got and use a voucher, you got it for 30 quid, and I'm like, ooh, that falls into that really nice sweet spot of. That's the right price. Yeah, but I've stayed away from it because I'm trying not to. But it's like, especially being entrenched in social media as I am, which is awful and I hate it, but I can't seem to stop myself, is that, people get new games and they talk about new games and you feel part of something and you're going, yeah, I want all this and I want to explain it. And when you buy it a month and a half down the line, because the game industry moves so quick and people get bored so easily, which is a bad thing, but again that's a whole other conversation. You kind of want to be part of that and you want to get into it and you want to talk about it, and I mean, I will admit that if a game holds my interest for more than a month, it's usually a rare thing. I am that cunt. I am that person that kind of buys things and moves on very quickly. So it's just I'd like to not fall into the trap of buying every new game that I want and then being disappointed when it doesn't go right. But it's very difficult to get out of the mindset of not wanting to be part of something that's happening at that moment in time.
It's a very good, I think, example of where culture is now in the gaming sense. It's because you're in social media, you're on forums, Facebook, Twitter, or all that lot. I think it's the talking about video games that is actually a lot more exciting than the playing of the games now sometimes. And also what happens is you go and buy whatever game you want. So, you pick up Evolve and you could happily be enjoying Evolve for that first week. But then you're on the forum, you're about to go and type your little bit up about Evolve and a good game you've had, and you see another thread, or you see someone else has mentioned The Order or Battlefield, and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, they're talking about that. You read it, you go, oh, I quite want to play that. People are having fun. So you go, well, I'll put that to the side and I'll get that and I'll play that. And then you notice another little thing about a small indie title you've never heard of. And you go, oh, okay, I'll play that. And then you get things like Giant Bomb and sites like that as well now, where they're doing quick looks at stuff. And I watched that and I bought Besiege. I'm not going to play Besiege for 2 years until it gets an official release. I just thought, do you know what? That looks so damn good, and at a $5, I can't say no.
No, it's a curious thing.
I'm surrounded by young people.
Oh God! How old actually are you? What is your age?
Younger than both of you, I believe.
He's 21. He's 21. That's hard life.
I'd get you a receipt and go back, mate.
I'm actually 31, but yeah, I believe I am the young
you
one.
are younger than me. That's depressing.
You little baby.
It's alright.
Jesus.
But I mean, all this talk about listening to what people say. I remember when I used to do that, people.
I generally tend not to see many people from time to time, so that's why I'm kind of stuck in interaction online.
I have no real life friends, so
no. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I'm saying all my friends kind of either moved away, so they're on the internet anyway through Facebook and whatnot. And yeah, it's a sad old life.
I mean, like Brad just said then, when I see a little thing pop up of like Besieged, that looks great, and I'm almost certainly going to buy that soon. But that's a £5, and it is going to last me for 2 years because that's when it's going to be finished. So I don't mind that because I want to pay them £5 so that they keep making the game, and it's not Peter Molyneux, so they probably will do.
Also, if they stopped, that first load of levels they got looks like that's £5 worth of value there alone. In all fairness,
it's what you pay what you pay what you think you're gonna what you think its value is. Sorry, Andrew, you were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. And then like paying for a fortnight of Evolve maybe for £60, and that's just it hurts my face. Just thinking about it. No. The whole front of my face, the cheekbones, the eyebrows, they're all physically hurting at thinking that.
My face aches from the sheer bastardry.
And the monsters and the shooting and the £60 to digital buy it. Oh God!
God, no, those I won't buy digitally.
The thing is, it's one of them things, and that's what it comes into. In that, I generally tend not to buy digital unless it's super cheap. Like I bought around Christmas, I bought Unity and Assassin's Creed 4 on Xbox One off eBay for £23. Because they were a reseller selling the codes out of the Xbox One bundles. And so, effectively, I paid £12, £11.50 for both of them. I probably had £11 out of Unity, even though it's not very good. And I haven't installed Black Flag because I finished it on Xbox 360. However, I probably, when I feel like an Assassin's Creed itch, I probably will go back to Black Flag because it was incredible fun. I mean, it was still got all the usual Ubisoft bollocks, but, Yeah. I know you did. But you know what your fucking problem is, yeah? You said to me the other day, it's like, oh, shall I buy Unity? No, it's rubbish. Have you got Black Flag? Buy that. Yeah, bought it for £6. Oh, how'd you find it? I haven't played it. What's wrong with you? Seriously.
We're playing iDob.
I'm not talking about iDob because I don't know anything about it.
It was free. It was free.
I don't
care.
I don't care.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. But no, it's there for when this magical day that we've never ever seen and we never will see when there's nothing else to play. It's my rainy day game.
I know. You see, I've got Majora's Mask this week.
That's kind of the thing with the Steam sales and the Steam library, is that basically I'm hoping for some form of nuclear Armageddon that leaves the electricity on and confines me to my flat, and there's nothing else to do. Probably the internet will have broken as well. So
which means you won't be able to play it because of DRM.
No, because he'll have seen it coming and he'll have made his entire library offline. Because Andrew's old and cautious like that.
Unfortunately, what we all are, he doesn't trust the internet.
Every single game I've got is installed. I have a 3 terabyte hard drive with about 500 gig of free space on it.
No, but it's I need to get a new hard drive to get my stuff installed. But it's no. Where was I?
I don't know. I've no.
I'm gonna get.
We're talking about DLC at the beginning.
I was talking about Nuclear Armageddon. Maybe that was that.
No, I'm going to get my
Maybe the
bird
tip
analogies wrong, so I do apologise to bird aficionados.
Ornithologists.
But yes, well done.
I'm going to apologise to some people, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I'm going to apologise, but I don't actually give a fuck, so it's empty anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's video games now are like the little trinkets, and we're the magpies.
Yep, magpie effect. The magpie effect is terrible. It's absolutely horrific.
Look at that. I'm happy now. And that's what
There
it
you go,
is.
the
And you see, I mean, Steam is the worst bit. Steam and Humble bundles and stuff like that, where you just go, it's only a couple of quid, and it's so I'll get that and I'll play that one day. And then, as you say, we go back to what we said earlier, where you see games and you go, what?
Yeah, this is it. And this is what, actually, what it comes back to is that the magpie effect is part of why DLC works.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing trinkets at you. And you're going, I want these shiny things. I want that gun or whatever. I mean, I don't. Some people do. I mean, one of the worst things in terms of that, this ties in, and this is simply because it's been on my desk. Ultra Street Fighter 4. And so it's like you buy Street Fighter 4, then you buy the arcade edition upgrade, and then I get confused. The only thing that I remember about Street Fighter 4 is the fact they released an absolute fucking shit ton of costumes for it. A metric shit ton. And it's like... And of course people are going to buy into it because that's what they want, and that's fine, but it's still, here's a load of stuff you don't really need that doesn't expand the game in any meaningful way apart from cosmetics, and so I don't know. It's
it's that was quite nice because Ultra Street Fighter 4 just turned up on my Steam library because it just transformed.
it just walked in out of the cold.
It just transformed from Street Fighter 4 into Ultra Street Fighter 4, I think. I'm pretty sure
I got it from a loot crate, so.
You see, I don't actually remember this being. I mean, Capcom are the masters of the incremental upgrade of their games. Ever since Street Fighter 2, I mean, look how many versions of Street Fighter 2 there were. It's ridiculous. But they're all held in high esteem, which is, fair play to people if that's what they want. So, I don't know. It's where does DLC? I mean, another one you could argue is like Reaper of Souls. Reaper of Souls is an expansion pack. Is that count as DLC? Is it down? I mean, it is downloadable content, but it's like it's also an expansion pack that significantly changes the game.
It's a patch as well, isn't it? Doesn't it patch the original game at the same time? Yeah,
the original game on the PC was patched with like a lot of but that's what they do with World of Warcraft. They put all the fundamental changes in a patch before the expansion pack's released, and then they just give you a key when you buy the expansion pack, and it unlocks the rest of the content. So it's, I think what we can safely say is it's not going anywhere. DLC as such, because it's so entrenched in the game now, in the gaming industry now, it's not going anywhere. And to be honest with you, if I get games like Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty and I get more enjoyment out of them, fine, whatever. What does need to change is this fucking awful nickel and diamond microtransaction bollocks that Ubisoft have been trial running, and I am gonna err on the side of optimism and say they are trialing it in The Crew and in Watch Dogs and in Assassin's Creed Unity. And people have turned around and told them to stuff it. I hope that they've paid attention to that.
I genuinely think that this is something that both Sony and Microsoft need to give a bit of regulation to. Season passes, for a start. The idea of a season pass is that it's a TV show and you've bought it all in advance, so you get everything at the end. So let's make the words season pass just single player content. You get 2 single player expansions. That's it. If you want an extra map pack, it's a subscribe to map packs in advance type thing.
Yeah.
And just so that there's set words that just say this is what you're going to get. It will be the same in this game. It will be the same in this game. If you like the single player mode of Shadow of Mordor, the season pass of that will give you 3 extra missions.
But
if you want 3 extra missions, that's it. But it's all so vague at the moment. And the season pass of Shadow of Mordor has just got utter tat in it. There's no There's no real stuff in there at all, apart from one £7 expansion.
And once again, I think this is where it's not often we get to do this. I think you've got to give credit to EA and Battlefield. It's premium. Battlefield Premium gets you the lot. You get everything. It costs double the price of the vanilla game, but you get everything. You also, as part of that, on top of the everything you get your monthly and weekly perks. You get your double XP sessions. You get your battle packs, which unlocks content, which is your extra bonus for being a premium subscriber. The way that comes across is you're paying for the expansions and the extra mats, and because you're going ahead and getting that with us now, have all this. And what they did that I really liked as well was I didn't buy into Battlefield on day one. On the PS3. I also didn't buy in on day one on the PS4. I did leave it. I then bought it with Premium. And I was very, very shocked to find that I could claim all the previous months' battle packs and everything, as well as what was coming forward. And I thought that was a nice touch with that.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so let's make that a word. That Premium means you get all the tat. That's a lovely thing to have. You have a season pass that's single player. You have premium that's everything. You have another phrase that I'm not going to write because the game industry can do some of its own work for once. And that will be all the multiplayer and cars and that kind of tat. It just needs to simplify so that people know exactly what they're buying and people are making the right decisions rather than just buying a season pass because they like the game and not knowing what's in it. I mean, if you look for Shadow of Mordor Season Pass, what Google suggests is Shadow of Mordor Season Pass worth it? And no, but it's but that's ridiculous. People shouldn't have to be Googling whether it's worth spending the money on. It should be, if you like this game, you are going to get your money's worth out of paying for the extra.
Is it Evil Within that hasn't actually had any of its Season Pass stuff released yet, but has already seen a half-price sale on PSN?
I've no idea.
There's one game, I believe it's Evil Within, and that takes the piss.
If people buy a Season Pass without knowing what that Season Pass gives, they deserve everything they fucking get.
No, it's not that. I mean, Evil Within is clear.
Isn't it?
Evil Within is clear of what you're going to get, I believe. But none of it's released yet, right? So they've been quite clear in the idea of getting people, look, this is what you're going to get, buy it, don't buy it. So people will buy it for, I think it's £15, which is fine. That's the price they want to pay. But before any of it has come out, you can now get the Evil Within Season Pass for $7.99 on PSN in a half-price sale. That's rubbish. Terrible.
Again, it comes down to
we were saying last time with the episodic games, the reducing them before they've released all the episodes. It's just
it's the only reason I haven't bought Borderlands or Borderlands yet, because I know at some point I'll get that. Yeah, I'll get everything for a £5.
And just to like kind of leave it on a high note, Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 1, as a matter of fact, if there's one thing Gearbox do apart from make shit alien games, is that they support Borderlands 1 and 2 with some fantastic DLC.
Yeah.
Season Pass was absolutely worth every single penny on both games. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I will probably end up buying the pre-sequel and all its DLC on disc when it comes out in March because I am that prick. Anyway.
But it is good. You can't help but like Borderlands. I play it on the Vita. I don't care about the frame rate drops every now and again. It's a bloody amazing game to play again.
Because it's on the Vita. You'd almost managed it.
Here we go.
Almost.
We've done Vita. We've done Ubisoft. If you've got your bingo cards, people, we've done Vita, we've done Ubisoft, we've done Nintendo. We haven't done Sega, unfortunately. So sorry about that.
Because that did get out of our system last time with an hour and 40 minutes of Sega.
Yeah, strap yourselves in, guys.
Oh, Jesus.
By the way, what I do want to mention, actually, and we are just to finish this off, because I still had some people mention this, we couldn't mention every Sega game we loved because there wasn't the time. We got to mention 15 of them.
I've got to say,
and it took an hour and 40 minutes.
We'd have been here now. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Oh,
It could have been.
Jesus.
It's
So we
One-
love
one that
everything
we
you
missed.
can mention. We liked.
one that we missed that I didn't feel bad for missing was Sonic Dark Chronicles, which I always really wanted to play and looked amazing.
Never
And
played
that
it.
was one that we've.
Never played it. Was that what was it developed by? Was it a Squeenix
It's the
game?
BioWare one.
BioWare.
Yeah, BioWare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's
no.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What have we got coming up on the site? Have
Good
we
question.
got scores?
We have reviews and they have scores. Yes.
We have reviews of our scores. Yes.
Because as everyone leaves Metacritic, my plan is we'll be the only site left on Metacritic to get all their traffic.
We're just going to rebrand Metacritic as Gamestyle
It's gonna be-
/Metacritic.
It's going to be a big empty warehouse where we're running around in circles going woo.
Yeah, you've got no choice but to come to us. Metacritic love us, or studios must love us, especially people who make stuff for the Vita, because I must bump their Metacritic
Yep.
score like nobody's.
I'm sure NIS love us. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't love. No,
So
that's not. What was it? It's
Yeah,
Infinity Idea
it's the
Factory.
whole. Yeah, the whole score thing. I'm slightly bemused by the people getting really upset that the numbers are disappearing. But I also do think that having numbers is still the right thing to do. It seems like I think what people are trying to have is that they want reviews to be better to read,
Yes.
and they think that if you get rid of the score at the end, the review will suddenly get better. Whereas the actual truth is you'll get exactly the same writers writing exactly the same reviews, except you'll get to the bottom and sometimes you'll shrug.
Yeah. My reviews will still be awful. It's
It doesn't change. It doesn't change anything. Just getting rid of the scores. You need to change the entire writing staff and the entire philosophy of what a review is, and it's just slightly pointless to do. So yeah, I happily agree with Gamestyle's keeping scores.
I'd rather there wasn't, but I understand why we need them. What gets me laugh is when people go, well, here's the alternative. If we can break it down into these 5 different categories of hate it, like it, whatever, these 5 different categories, that's different than giving it 5 stars. You know,
Yeah,
rent it. That could be where you have your 3rd star. Rent it. That's not a score. That's different.
Rent it? From where?
It's the best.
Mate.
The best opinion from Boomerang before they give away your credit card.
Talking of which, my Steam
allegedly.
account got hacked.
Oh, Jesus. Come on.
But I've got Steam Guard, which is good. I really appreciate Steam Guard.
Anyway, the best thing that I read about this scores or no scores thing is that it depends on what game you're reading about. If someone's written a review of Never Alone, it's a slightly dodgy platformer, 6 out of 10, that's a slightly useless review because that's missing the point of what it is. And to describe what it is, you don't need a score at the end of it.
No.
Whereas, say, FIFA 16 comes out, and it's got a score of 3 out of 10 at the end, then that's a massive... All you need to know from that is the score, and you don't need to do anything else. You just don't buy the game if that happens.
Okay,
And
we do that.
it's
When
just-
FIFA 16 comes out, we are just literally just going to write, the whole review is just going to be 3 out of 10. That's going to be the entire... Nothing else. That's the review.
The thing is, you can't review it on the day. You can't have the review out on the day of release because you've got to wait for it to be busted to shit online and play it after it comes out.
Yeah,
So we'll do a provisional review.
A
We'll do the
preview,
Polygon.
review.
No,
Provision-
Polygon's provisional review.
It's... Oh, for God's sake.
Because they need to be first out the door.
Do you know what? I just want to. I'm just gonna go and choke on something because this is.
Basically,
Anyway,
the point
maybe
is we want to write cool stuff, and it's going to have a
Yeah.
number at the bottom.
I like
And
it.
what have we got
That's
coming
the
up on the
main
site? Shut up. What have we got coming up on the site? We're finished now, we're done. What have we got
I wanna go
coming
to
up
bed.
on the site?
Right, Ironclad Tactics review. We've got an Evolve review. We've got a couple of PC previews, Andrew. We've got obviously lots of new staff.
very
See what I did
pointed.
there?
Yeah.
We've got a few new stuff. We've got bits. We've got some World of Warcraft reviewy bits coming up. Some Magic the Gathering retrospect from 1996. That makes my late Driveclub review seem quite early. That we've got a review of a game from 1996. I like that. Lots of stuff. We're very active at the moment. Stop by, have a look, see our new writers, and join us on Facebook, on Twitter, Twitch. Listen to us
Leave
on
a review
SoundCloud,
iTunes, if you
iTunes.
please. That'd be great.
Yes, that's what I've got to get you to do. Yes, listen to us and play something good on iTunes, and then we can get searchable and bigger.
Yeah.
I enjoy
do
listening to
review us
these
if you like
talk
us.
bollocks.
Yeah.
Please stroke and placate our egos. Just tell us we're not wasting his time. That'd be.
Even if you just put that Sega episode was good once, that'll do.
That Sega episode was great up until the hour and 25-minute mark when I had to go to bed or I couldn't be bothered to listen. Anyway.
If you wish to listen to, the full conclusion, if you wish to listen to the full conclusion of this show, buy the season pass. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.